Okay, I think then we can start. Yeah, welcome everyone to today's Data World Friday session. My name is Lorenz Kindling. I'm a BI consultant here at Scalefree, and today I'm substituting for Michael. Normally he does the Data World Friday sessions. Um, Maybe before we start, really quick, what is the Data World Friday? Data World Friday is a weekly meeting we do here at Scalefree, where you, the audience, can submit questions through a form. I will show you the link at the end of the presentation again, or you can put them here in the chat. And then we have a question queue, and we answer one question every week, always on Friday at 11. So today's question is about masking business keys from hubs for privacy. So essentially, how do you deal with business keys that have personal information in it? And yeah, in general, it's all about GDPR. So in Europe, we have the General Data Protection Regulation since 2018, and it offers a high level of protection regarding the personal data of European citizens. So essentially, when you live in Europe, you have the right to ask companies to share, first of all, what personal data they have of you, and then also to delete your personal data. To deal with this in Data World, we have a really simple concept. Most of you know probably in Data World we have the hub with the business keys, and then satellites with the describing attributes. So in this case, we are talking about the customer, and then we have in the satellites data that describes the customer, for example, name, address, and so on. And in Data Vault, what we do is we do so-called satellite splits, and we split the describing attributes into personal and non-personal data. So yeah, essentially, for example, the name and the address go into the personal satellite because it's person-related information, and information like the country or something like that go into the non-private satellite. And this works fine if now a customer comes to you and says he wants his data deleted. We just go into the private satellite, delete the data of this customer, and we still have information about the customer on the non-private satellite, and we still can do analysis on it, and the data ward model still works. But this is only fine as long as we have a business key that is not PIA data itself. So as soon as you have a business key that is PIA data, like for example, let's say you have for the customer a social security number as the business key, then you would also have to delete the business key in the hub. So, and then you get an issue because if we delete the business key in the hub or the row for this customer who wants his data deleted, we then have an inconsistent data vault model because we still have an entry in the non-private satellite that now has no corresponding hub hash key. What a lot of people do then, or customers do then, is they just mask the business key and keep the hash key. So essentially, yeah, they keep the hash key and just override the business key, so the social security number, for example, with something different. This works to an extent. You will still have an working data vault model because you still have the mapping from the non-private satellite to this hash key, but you will get issues with security essentially, because it's really easy if we stay with the example with the social security number. It's really easy to build a rainbow table which has all possible social security numbers in it and their corresponding hash key that you derive. This is because, for example, the US social security number has a fixed structure. It consists of 9 digits, an area code, a group number, and a serial number. And with today's computing power, it's really easy to calculate all possible social security numbers and their corresponding hash keys. and then the rainbow table just becomes a really simple lookup. So if I get access to your data, to your hub, and you mask the business key, I can just query my rainbow table against the hash keys and then get the corresponding social security number. So masking the business key like that doesn't work, and this is why we don't rely on hash keys or hash diff in Data Vault in general for security. But there's a solution to that. So this is an example of an insurance company. They have also split their customer data into one part where it's about the car insurance and then one part where it's about the healthcare insurance. But it's one insurance company, and the social security number still is in this customer hub and describes one customer. So what they did is or what we do in Data Vault to tackle this issue is we implement so-called artificial hubs, and these artificial hubs are these two, and they just get an artificial business key. So for example, a sequence number, and then we create a link entry between the social security number or the hash key of the social security number and this artificial hub. Therefore, when now a customer comes and wants his data deleted, we can start with an example. He has both. He has healthcare insurance and car insurance, and now he quits his car insurance and wants us to delete his data about the car insurance. What we then would do is pretty simple. We would go into the private satellite again of this artificial car insurance hub and delete the entries for this customer. And then we would go into the link and delete the link entry between the customer hub, so essentially the social security number, and this artificial hub. So we still have the information of the non-private satellite. It still has a corresponding hub, which has no private information in it because it's just an artificial generated sequence number. If now the same customer comes again and also quits his healthcare insurance, then we would need also to delete the hub entry in the customer hub. We can do that now. So yeah, he tells us to delete all of his data now because he isn't a customer anymore. So we start again with the non-private satellite on this side this time, and with the private satellite on this side, and delete the data of this customer. Then we again go into the link and delete the relationship between the customer hub and the artificial hub. And now, because we need to delete all of his PIA data, we would also need to delete the entry of this customer in the customer hub, so his social security number essentially. And this time we can do it because we would still have an working and functional data vault model, because we have this artificial hubs, which still has this artificial key, which then corresponds to the existing non-private satellite. So now we can delete the social security number and the hub hash key out of our data vault without any issues regarding the data vault model. Like you maybe already feel with the solution, it's a lot more complex than the one I showed before, where you just split the personal data and non-personal data into two satellites. So we would always recommend to choose a business key that is not PIA data, because it just makes it a lot more complex. But if there is no other option, this is a working solution. It works completely fine. If you understood it once, it's not that complex anymore. But yeah, we would recommend, if there's any other possibility to choose a business key, do not go for PIA data in business keys, because it just makes the data vault model much more complex. So yeah, what is the conclusion? Hash keys in Data Vault are not part of the security concept, or not part of the GDPR concept. We do not use hash keys in any way to support security. We just use them for query help and for performance reasons. yeah, this is why we can also use outdated hash functions in Data Vault like MD5 or SHA1 for deriving the hash key. And the better hash function does not improve the security because we just don't use it for security. There are other ways, like I showed you today, for securing the data vault and for setting up GDPR, and it doesn't involve the hash function. I hope that answered the question to the full extent. If not, maybe reach out to me per email or LinkedIn. If you have any question regarding data vault, data platforms, cloud platforms, or something like that, you can submit your questions on our website. You can see the link up here. It's a shortened one, but it works like that. And you can just fill out the form or put it into the chat. Then it gets into our queue, and then we will pick your question up in one of the upcoming Data Vault Fridays. Other than that, we have a lot of interesting webinars about data vault, cloud computing, data platforms, in general BI. If you are interested in some webinars, some more information, go check that out. And one really interesting and cool thing, this year we have something special. So we did it the last years as well, but it's always a really cool thing and a big thing for us. We do our own conference in Hanover, the Data Dreamland. This year's topic is cost-efficient data solutions. If you want to find out more about the Data Dreamland, which speakers are there, and everything, just scan the QR code, go to the website, check it out. It's going to be really fun. And I hope to see you all there. I hope the question is answered. And looking forward to see you at Data Dreamland. Thank you very much, and until next Friday. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining today. If you'd like to discuss this further, give us a call on the number below here, and we're happy to discuss this with you. See you next time. Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.